Katherine Black reacts Emmerdale part 7. So I think Robert, Aaron, Victoria, Victoria's kid, Charity, Liam and half the rest of the cast are all dead, because we're only focusing on a few little core people. Everybody else has gone to the Bahamas on holiday for a couple of weeks. They'll come back with lovely tans when we see them again in a few weeks' time. So Joe thinks he's seen Graham, who's been dead. Graham was a baddie in the end, but he had a heart of gold and he killed people and he was all a bit shady. And he was with Rona and then he was with Kim and he killed people and he was this big burly character. Anyway, he's been dead for 6 years. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Thank you. When we do the flashback scenes, we find out a lot more of what he did with Pierce, who's another one who was a bad rapist, murderer. We find out all about it when we come to the flashback scenes. Anyway, Joe thinks he's seen Graham in the hospital. Out of all those hundreds of people passing by, he just happens to see the person that was like a dad to him. So, convinced that he's seen Graham, he hires a private investigator. The private investigator looks into everything and goes to the police officer who found Graham's body. When they meet up, Joe and Becky, is that what she's called? Becky? No, Becky. We had a Becky recently. What the hell is she called? The girl who used to be a drug dealer, but she isn't anymore, and she used to be on drugs, but she isn't anymore. Now she's living in the big house with Joe. Kim's taken her on as a daughter. Her dad died a couple of years ago of a heart attack, and Kim stood over him looking, and Becky, no. Anyway, Joe and Blondie are talking, and the private investigator is with the police officer. She's managed to get her to come, which would never happen in real life, but it has. And we find out why, and it does make sense. But we don't find out in this episode. Shall I tell you? Oh, go on then, because it's full of spoilers anyway. The police officer was in Graham's pocket the whole time, and Graham was in the SAS, and he learnt to hold his breath for a long, long time, so he could play dead for hours and hours and hours. So he played dead. Police officer came, all the police, all the crime scene. Yeah, he's dead, time of death, do, all good. Graham gets carted off, put in the back of a paddy wagon and goes, and takes a big breath. So, that's him sorted. Arthur, little Arthur, who is Laurel's gay teenage son, is acting shifty. Is it a red herring or did he kill Ray? We never see this kid. When we do, he's sulking about going up to his room with a plate of food. We see him going up the stairs with a plate of food once every 3 weeks. That's all he seems to do. Anyway, he's made an appearance and we keep cutting to him. At one point, Rona and Laurel and Ray are talking, and there's a photograph on the sideboard behind them and between them, perfectly framed, of Arthur. That was nice. It was nice the way they did that. Things are calmer. The village is calming down, but of course we've got all the flashback scenes to come in a couple of episodes. But for now, things are simmering. There's a lot of accusations going on, but things are calmer. Where are all the psychopaths? Where are all the murderers? They all seem to have gone to ground all of a sudden. I think we've only got one murderer running around at the moment, and that's whoever killed Ray. All the rest have taken to rabbit holes. So, the test results are back. Poor Mark is sitting on the sofa. Somehow he's got them on email as well as Charity. I'm surprised if Charity didn't reorganise that. But as I say, she's not that worried because she knows they're going to come back not in Mac's favour. So Mac's got his head in his hands and he's having a little cry and he's very upset because he was convinced the baby was his. Ross walks in. Ross says, you know, he's come to tell him about Sarah and Jacob and the baby not being theirs and the baby being his. But they've struck up a best buddies bromance, these two, and he can't break his heart, so he doesn't tell him. He tells Charity he's backing off, she can keep a sordid secret, he wants nothing to do with the baby. Are we done? No, we're not done, because we know it's all going to come out. Of course it's going to come out, it's got to. The police found Graham and covered it up. Ross has backed off from the baby. If Celia's dead, and we keep having this flash of Celia lying on the floor dead and Ray looking over, having just killed her. If Celia's dead, where are all the people? Never mind just Bear, there were about 20 of them. Where have they all gone? Lisa, no, she's not called Lisa, what's she called? Mandy. Mandy is on the phone to Paddy. She's gone off to look after Tina and Tina's kids in Ireland. So she's in Ireland, probably the Bahamas, getting a suntan. No, she's on Celebrity. She's gone off and she's on Celebrity, get me out of here, the jungle thing. Losing tons of weight. We see her on the phone, and Lisa Riley, not Mandy, the actress, Lisa Riley, she looks fabulous. She's lost so much weight, and good on that girl, good on her. And that's it for that one. But we keep cutting to Arthur. Why has creepy little Arthur suddenly become a thing? Because we never see him, and suddenly he's there in the village, hiding behind walls and standing looking gormless by the cafe, and on a photograph between Rona and Ray. No, Laurel and Ray even. Oh, it's exhausting. Thank you very much. Nice chat. Back with part 8.